We'll just give 1 minute for our cameraman to set up and then we'll get underway. Great, all good. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us for today's post-match press conference featuring stand-in captain Aiden Markram. We will look to take one question at a time, but before we do, I do have just 2 questions from home and then we'll open up to the floor. First up, Aiden, does it feel frustrating knowing so much of the outcome of this match hinged on the toss?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, ideal world, you'd obviously like to bat first, but I think conditions remain tricky pretty much throughout. Possibly the first session and maybe the second one as well. On day one, it was pretty good to bat, and then from there out onwards, it got quite tricky. So suppose you never look back thinking the toss was the difference, and it didn't feel like that in this game either. Felt like there were moments where if we got on top and ran with a bit of momentum, it could have been a different result. So I don't want to say that the toss was the difference at all.
And then secondly, it's easy to talk about what could have or should have happened, but if you're able to say something in the bowling plans that could have limited the target because 200 seemed chaseable.
Yeah, I mean, you can always look back and reflect, and there'll always be areas that you would have liked to improve on or be better at. I think first and foremost, you give credit to the 2 partnerships in that first innings. That was really good between Shane and Imam, and then between Rizwan and Salman. So we thought we bowled well, we thought we had good plans, but they played the sweep shots and stuff like that really well and made it quite tough to set fields that can limit scoring. So through that, I suppose, you leak a couple of runs or a couple too many runs per over. Instead of maybe going at 2s and 3s, you might be going at 4s, and that does eventually add up at the end of the game. But yeah, first and foremost, it's credit to the way those 2 partnerships batted.
Aiden, commiseration on the defeat. You must be proud of the fact that South Africa fought really hard and the result is not a one-sided affair.
Yeah, always happy with the fight. It's one thing us as a team we pride ourselves on. Never throwing in the towel, never giving up. Believing that the really difficult things are still possible, and although we weren't on the right side of it, we showed some good fight and resilience. So it's always a nice box to tick post every game. If you can tick that box, I feel like it's still good for the change room and the boys in the change room, and yeah, proud of the guys for that effort.
Hi, Adam. Before the beginning match, people were talking about the condition and saying toss would be most important. What is your finding, and after 4 days spent in this pitch, and how it will be helpful for the next game that would be held in Pindi, and the condition will be similar?
Yeah, I would expect the conditions to be similar. Again, the toss is the toss. You can't control which way the coin's going to land, but I think it's important to have ways to win games of cricket, even if you don't get the toss right. So I always laugh and say you don't come to win the toss, you come to win the game, and you've got to find ways to do that. So we expected conditions to be like this. We expect it again for the second test match, and it's on us now as a group to go back and find ways to be better and to give ourselves a chance to win.
Quite a contrast, Aiden, in the way Rickleton and Brevis batted today. It was a big partnership, but Rickleton was a lot more conservative. Brevis looked to take the bowlers on. Which of those templates do you think is more repeatable on surfaces like these?
Yeah, it's very much on the individual, I feel. So a guy like Brevis always takes the game on. That's what he's known for, and that's when he's at his best. So it was actually great to see him bring out that side today. A guy like Rickleton and other batters in the group might back their defence a lot more and feed off the scraps that come around that. So 2 different ways of approaching it, but two ways I still think you can be successful in these conditions. So it's about committing to one way and yeah, living by that, I guess.
This is Amir Hamza from Zalmi TV. I would like to know that Rabada was spot on with the ball. Do you think another pacer, full-time pacer, would have made a difference in this game?
Look, it's hard to say. KG bowled really well and probably didn't get the rewards he deserved, but that's how it works in cricket. We did still have Mulder, but we felt the ball only tails or reverses for a few overs and then naturally gets softer and that reverse goes away. So you're looking at one big spell with him, obviously the new ball, and then a big spell with the reverse swinging ball, and he bowled 2 really, really good spells for us. And on some other days he'll get 4 or 5 wickets, some days he just only gets the 1 or whatever it was. So we'll look at it, we'll reflect and see if there's an opportunity to get another seam in, if we feel it can make a positive difference. But if we're going to back our spin, with Kesh being back now as well, we'll have to weigh that up when we see conditions that side.
Hi Aiden, we seen South African team in previous World Test Championship window. In various stages your team was unbeatable. What happened today? Why your team lost today, and how disappointed you are as a standing captain because Temba Babuma is not here? Did you feel any pressure?
Not pressure, no. A responsibility, of course. We had a good winning streak going, and we lost a game of cricket, and that's how the game of cricket and the world of sport works. So you can't win everything. We had plans, we gave it our absolute all, and we were on the wrong side of it. So that can happen, and you have to make peace with that. If the team is better than you over the 3 or 4 days, then you doff your caps towards them. So I'm not looking too deep into it by all means. Let bygones be bygones, as they say, and look forward to that second test match.
We're going to go last 3 questions, so 1, 2, 3.
Adam, there were a lot of ups and downs in this match. At some stage, batters were looking dominant, but the most of the time, bowlers were dominant. If you can summarize us, what was the turning point in this match where South Africa lose the match? And second, please add something about the Keshav Maharaj. He is here in Pakistan and he will be available for the second test match.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint one exact moment in the game. You're looking over however many overs it was over the 3 or 4 days. So there's not one specific moment. I feel like it's a couple of small moments in the game where it can go either way. And it's just important to identify those moments and make sure we really try win those moments, because I think it makes a big difference at the end of it. So batting here is going to be tricky, but it's not impossible. There's ways to score runs, as quite a few guys have shown, and it's tough for the new batter coming in. That's why wickets fall in clusters. So yeah, identify those key moments and try to be better in those moments, I guess. For Kesh, the idea is obviously to get him to play the second test. That's why he's here. I'm not sure what the medical staff have planned for him, but we're keeping our fingers crossed he'll be good to go.
Hello, Markram. Were you expecting too much spin start in the first day?
Yeah, I expected it to spin, absolutely. I said it before the game as well. Didn't know exactly when it was going to start being massive spin like that. It was second half of day 1, it really started spinning big, and that is what we expected as a unit and prepared ourselves for. So no real surprises there.
Hello Aiden, this is Ramasan from PAK Passion. What are your thoughts on the performances of Tony DeZorzi and Muthuswamy? They performed very well with the ball and bat.
Yeah, just really happy for them. I said it now as well. We get to see stuff behind the scenes, and the two of them, they work really hard at their games, trying to come up with plans to succeed in wherever they are in the world. And for South Africans to come here and do well and do as well as they did is a big feather in their cap. So I'm incredibly happy for them. They deserve it through all the hard work they've put in, and I'm sure it will give them a lot of confidence and belief.
Great. That concludes this press conference. Thank you very much,
Cool.
everyone. Thank you, Aiden.
Thank you.